Have you ever tried to tell someone how you are feeling? Or try to resolve a relational conflict only to have the person you're speaking to respond defensively and miss the main point of the message you're trying to communicate? Hi, my name is Jeremiah Peck, and in this episode of Ally Academy, you will learn how a principle from firearm safety will help you cultivate connection in your communication so as to effectively resolve conflict. As a counselor, I work often with couples who experience conflict due to miscommunications when attempting to resolve relational struggles. While there are several situations that couples may have conflict over, such as finances, parenting, in-laws, or intimacy, those problems are often compounded when resolution attempts result in further misunderstandings. Consider this example. A married couple is arguing about finances. They're in debt and they've been unable to stick to their budgets. In frustration, one person says to the other, "You are so irresponsible with money." Now, while it sounded like that complaint may have been about finances, it was also directed as an attack against the other person. To help us understand what went wrong here, let's discuss an example from firearm safety. There are 4 rules of firearm safety. First, treat every firearm like it's loaded. Second, never point a firearm at something you're not willing to destroy. Third, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. And fourth, know your target and what is beyond your target. It is that last rule, knowing what is beyond your target, that is most important in helping us understand the couple in our example. Imagine that when a conflict comes in between two people, that the conflict is actually positioned between them. In this position, any resolution attempt that's aimed at the target will not only be directed at the target, but also at the other person who is beyond the target. This is why the resolution attempt in our example may have sounded like it was directed towards finances, but instead it was also aimed at the other person as a personal attack. You are so irresponsible with money. When most people experience conflict, they immediately attempt to resolve the conflict instead of reconnecting with the other person first. In order to resolve the conflict, both people must first understand how they're feeling, how they're experiencing the conflict, and what underlying importance and meaning is behind the conflict for them. Consider this. Instead of starting with, "You're so irresponsible with money," the person instead shares how they're feeling. They say, "I'm feeling anxious." Then they share why struggling with finances is so difficult for them. They share that when they were younger, that their family struggled with finances and that this experience is stirring up difficult emotions for them. While these are just hypothetical to our example, these statements begin to draw both people together so that positionally the conflict is no longer between them. And once they're side by side in the same shooting range, so to speak, instead of across from one another, it is then that they can attempt to resolve the conflict without shooting at the other person in the crossfire. They might say now instead, "I had no idea you felt anxious about money because of your history with your family. Understanding this will help us navigate our budget together." While there's likely so much more for this couple to still navigate together, they will be better positioned to do so long as they focus on sharing their feelings, being vulnerable with sharing what's underlying the experience of the conflict, and knowing that the target is the conflict, not the other person. Be well, and thank you for joining me.